Hey guys, good morning. Are we live? Good morning, everyone. Give a second for folks to join. We're starting at 9:30 today. We had a little confusion about what time this class is. So moving forward, just to reaffirm, it will be 9:30 to 10:15. And also know these classes will always stay on the Bounty and Soul Facebook page, meaning that you can go, I think there's a videos tab. You can scroll through, but if you go to the videos tab, you can probably find it a little faster. Let's looking to see if folks are joining us. And you can replay them anytime. So classes alternate, myself and Danielle. Good morning. Teaching the class, it's always a gentle, slow flow. Try to give adjustments in both directions and some chair adjustments, but just know that this is your practice and your time. So anytime you feel like you want to add a little something, or if you want to pause in child's pose or shavasana, or just breathe, that invitation is always there throughout this practice, regardless of what I might be doing here. So before, go ahead and find a comfortable seat, whether, and give an option of being seated in a chair or on the floor, or you can lay down on your back. We're going to do a little body scan before we get into movement. So finding a comfortable way to be here. Actually, let's take a few breaths first, but go ahead and find your comfortable seat or lying on your back. And take a few breaths, breathing in through the nostrils and breathing out through the mouth with a sigh. And maybe even moving the mouth and the jaw. Welcome. I see some folks joining us. As always, feel free to comment. Let me know if you can't hear me. I don't have a mic or anything, so I can always speak up. So just a few breaths. Again, you can be seated right now or on your back to start, or in a chair. And after you've had those few exhales, releasing through the mouth, beginning to transition, inhaling through the nostrils. Feeling the breath come through the throat, the chest, the ribs, into the belly, and then exhale. So a few more breaths that way. Just using the breath to bring us more fully into the space, our home space, right, which has its gifts and its challenges. Challenges might be just finding a clear physical space, or having space with other people in your family, or pets, delivery people. The FedEx guy just showed up right as we were starting. And we're going to go through just a little body scan before we bring movement in. So I invite you, as we scan the body, if it feels good, to continue with this breath. Maybe even imagining that breath being sent to the part of the body that we're bringing attention and awareness to. So beginning by bringing awareness to the feet, to the toes, to the heel and the arches. And as we scan the body, just noticing what there is to notice about the space, the density of each part of the body. Does it feel open? Does it feel tight? Does it feel spacious or cramped? Does it feel relaxed? Is there pain? Something in between. So noticing the ankles. And as we scan the body, this scan can be bringing attention and awareness through the breath. You can place your hands on different parts of the body as we go. And then bringing awareness to the front of the legs, the shins. Still using the breath and the calves. To the front of the knees. On the back of the knees. Breathing into the front of the thighs, the quadriceps. The back of the thighs or hamstrings. Breathing into the crease of the hips. The hip sockets. To the belly and rib cage. To the lower back. And back of the ribs. Breathing into the heart. Again, all along the way, just noticing what there is to notice. See if we can make these observations without judgment. Noticing the hands, the fingertips, the forearms, the upper arms, shoulders, and then to the neck, front and back of the neck, to the jaw, to the face, and eyes, sockets, the forehead and third eye, that's our area of intuition. To the head or crown. And you can bring the hands out a little, bringing the awareness to what's happening above the head. And then releasing your hands to your side or to your lap. Inhaling, another few exhales, releasing through the mouth. Maybe just asking an invitation to ask yourself, is there any physical part of the body that is asking for or needing more space? I'm just noticing if there's an answer. If there's not, that's okay. Just being with that and breathing. But if some answer has come up, some part of the body that says, yes, I need space or need something else, just asking again, well, what is it that you need? How can I support you in that space? Again, maybe there's an answer, maybe not. And just thanking that part of your body for the information and asking if there's anything else to know. And then asking yourself too, is there any other place in my life outside of the physical body that needs space, right? So maybe that's something in our physical space of our dwelling, maybe that space in a relationship, in work, in patience with another person. So just trusting whatever comes up is the right thing. And if not, again, just staying with the breath. Sometimes there's an answer, sometimes not. And if there is an answer to where else that in your life space could be beneficial, again, just asking what kind of support was needed to cultivate that space. I'm just listening. Again, sometimes there's no answer, sometimes it's a surprising answer. And then just thanking yourself for that information as well. And then just acknowledging, pausing to make that connection, maybe bringing hands to heart center here, that as we move through our practice, our physical practice of yoga, of an asana of making space within the physical body, we're also making space elsewhere, right? So, but those things are connected. So maybe throughout the practice today, if you did have some things that came up about physical places that could benefit from the space and movement, and also places outside of that that could use the physical space and movement. And maybe setting an intention or dedication around that. And then releasing the hands, releasing the chin to the chest, drawing the right ear to right shoulder. So if you have any requests, you can always drop those in the comments. You can private message us before class or after with some feedback for something you'd like for next time. And then next time you have the right ear towards the right shoulder, extending that right arm out, palm facing up, and then bringing the head to rest on the ear or the jaw. So you're just gently creating a stretch here along the left side. You can bring the left hand to the floor if you like. Inviting 3 breaths here. So you're going to leave that right ear resting towards the right shoulder, releasing the hand, bringing your own hand to gently support the right side of the face, and lift the head back up. So you're giving yourself a little support on the way up. And just noticing how that feels, supporting yourself. Right? Inhaling, and as you exhale, loosen the chin to the chest. Drawing the left ear to left shoulder. Extending that left arm out, palm facing up, bringing the left hand to rest on the side of the head, on the right side, maybe towards the jaw or the ear. Gentle pressure from the palm to the head and from the head to the palm. Again, maybe extending that right arm out. And if anyone had a place that came up for spaciousness, I was asking for spaciousness. If you want to share that, always feel free. Comments are there for you guys to use it or not. I know it might not be easy to get to your computer. You might just not want to while we're practicing. I definitely miss being able to see and hear you guys. I feel you out there. So then bringing the left hand to the side of the left face or to our head, wherever that feels most supportive to you, and then gently lifting up. And let's do some shoulder rolls. You can switch the cross of the legs or shake it out if you need to. We've been sitting for a little while since we are doing a little bit of guided breath work, guided body scanning. And let's change the direction. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale down and forward. Nice. And then let's inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, release with a sigh. Let's do 4 more of those. Inhale. Last one. Nice. All right, let's do a few seated cat-cow. So inhaling forward. Exhale. Chin towards the chest, ankle towards the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Hands can be on the knees or front of the shins. Some movement can be really deep, coming way forward and way back. Or it could be a little smaller up here. You're always in control of the speed, the depth of your movement, right? And next time that you're forward, moving from forward to right and back and around. And changing direction. And then coming back to center, inhaling the arms up, Exhale, releasing the right hand to the ground, stretching the left arm over. So neck is an extension of the spine, really feeling rooted down through that left hip, opening all on the left side of the body. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, stretching to the opposite side. So again, you could be doing this in a chair if that is more accessible for you. You can have your legs out in front of you if we've been seated too long. And inhaling back to center. Let's just go one more time to each side. Coming back to center. Releasing the hands forward onto your mat. Let's see my palms here. And then grounding the palms, fingers spread wide as you inhale and look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhaling up. Exhaling forward. Inhaling up. So you guys are welcome to join in at any time. If you ever join in when we've already started, I think that you should be able to go back to the beginning. But if not, these do stay up, as we mentioned before. So staying here in your forward fold. Again, that forward fold might be here, higher up, hands on the floor. It might be coming down to forearms on the floor, or resting your forehead down, just honoring where you are in this fold. Finding maybe 2 more breaths. And slowly coming up, releasing. Let's shake the legs out a little. I'm going to move my little cushion and shake the legs out. And coming on to hands and knees and the tabletop. All right. So coming in the tabletop. So knees are directly under the hips, palms are under the shoulders. We're going to come back to that cat-cow. Inhaling as we lift the chin, lift the tailbone. Exhale, chin towards the chest, navel towards the spine. So you can decide, is this a slower motion or a little faster? Remembering to connect that movement to the breath. Inhaling here, exhaling. An option to add some flow in. So as you exhale and lower the tailbone down towards the ankles, maybe swooping down and coming back through. If you were seated for this, that might look like just you could be seated in a chair or seated crossed and swooping like this, right? When we had class at the market, which hopefully we'll be back to that again one day, about half the folks in that class were in a chair. So chair yoga can be just as great as on our mat. Some modifications for most everything. And if you're ever not sure, feel free to ask me. And then finding other circular or fluid movements that might feel good. Bending at the elbows, making sure to go in both directions. Or moving just the tailbone. Can be interesting, again, in both directions. And inhaling as you exhale, we're going to look back towards that left hip, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Left shoulder towards the right hip. Left shoulder towards the left hip, you guys. Drawing the right hip back. You guys know, that have been to class in person on Tuesday. I get left and right mixed up sometimes. So I gotta Keep me honest on that. And then inhale. As you exhale, squeeze in the right shoulder towards the right hip. And coming back to center. Right, so let's, from here, inhale, and as you exhale, step the right foot back, rocking back and forth with the toes curled under, so nice stretch in the calf muscles. Inhale, lifting that back leg up. So you can stay here, or inhale, and as you exhale, drawing the right knee into the chest. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, draw it in. You could also stay here as an option, rocking back and forth. You could make this movement slow or faster. Inhale and extend. Exhale, lowering that foot to the floor, pivoting on the back foot. So sole of the right foot's coming to the mat, grounding down through the left palm. And inhaling up. So you can't quite see my top of my fingertips, but fingertips are pointing straight up. Making circles with the wrist. Again, sole of the foot of that right extended foot on the floor, opening all along the front of the right hip. And maybe making circles here with the arm. Sometimes that's a lot, just trying to make sure we're staying in the frame and without a camera person to help us, right? Oh, looks like I'm pausing here. All right, I'm going to keep talking. Here we go. I'm back. I'm just going to keep talking. I assume that's going to catch up with me. So inhaling, as you exhale, we're going to lower back down. And bringing the knee to the floor, spreading the knees wide, coming in the child's pose. I apologize, you guys. It looks like I'm kind of having a little bit of technical slowdown here. I don't know if y'all are seeing it on your end. And slowly coming up. Coming on to the knees, coming back into tabletop. So we're going to come into a lunge, a low lunge, you guys, with the right foot forward. So a couple ways you can get there. If downward facing dog is part of your practice and you want to come into a downward facing dog and lift that right leg back up and step it forward, that's an option for getting there. Or for those of you if downward facing dog is not part of your practice, here from tabletop, you can step that right foot forward, hands on either side of that front foot, coming into your lunge. So I'm going to move to the side here. Okay. So right knee is bent, left leg extended behind you, inhaling up. So we're going to bring our lion's face or lion's breath into this. So as we inhale, arms are lifted, shoulders are relaxed. As we exhale, we're going to bend the arms, like goalpost arms, sticking the tongue out and crossing the eyes. So inhaling up, exhale. 4 more. Inhale. Hold here, really squeezing shoulder blades together. And then releasing the hands to the floor, maybe extending that right leg out in front. We're moving back and forth, kind of a runner stretch here. And then as you walk forward, right knee is bent. We're going to bring the hands to the inside of that right foot. Let me try changing the view on this. All right, so hands are coming to the inside of that right leg, which is forward. So shoulders coming up against the right knee. Sole of that right foot's on the floor. So squeezing the knee towards the shoulder, shoulder towards the knee. And then slowly walking the hands back, bringing that right foot behind you once again to extend that right leg out. Rocking back and forth. Lowering the knee, coming back into child's pose again. Knees can be together or spread wide. Releasing the head to the floor. So while you're here in child's pose with your head towards the floor, it can feel nice sometimes to just move the head from one side to the other. It's kind of like a little massage on the forehead. We'll do a little time check on down here. Okay. Gosh, our tongue is so fast, you guys. Okay, and slowly pressing yourself up. I'm going to come and do that same sequence on the left side. So left foot back, toes curled under, gently rocking back and forth. Let's turn our music up a little bit. You guys keep that back leg extended. Feeling the stretch in the calf. And then inhaling, lifting that back leg up. Exhale, drawing the knee into the chest. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, drawing it in. And releasing. A little gentle rocking here. So again, just deciding if it's going to be part of your practice today to come through downward facing dog, to come into your lunge. Let's see. I'm going to show you guys. I'm just going to say. I really need a camera person, you guys. That would be such a help. Okay, so you can come through downward facing dog and bring that left foot forward into your lunge. Or for those of you, if that's not part of your practice, remember you can just bring that left foot forward this way. And then bringing the hands to the knees for balance. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. Exhale, we're going to do 5 lines, face lines, breath. Inhale, and as you exhale, two more. Hold here. Squeezing shoulder blades together, and then straightening that front leg, releasing the hand down towards the knee, or hands towards the floor, head towards the knee. And then just kind of rocking back and forth. And then the next time that you come forward, bringing the hands inside of that left leg, squeezing the left knee towards the left shoulder or upper left arm. So you're really feeling the stretch. Well, you're feeling it in the back of the left leg and the left hamstring, but also in the front of the right leg, right? And then slowly walking the hands back, sweeping that knee behind you. And we're going to come on to our backs. Standing right out there. I'm just trying to move up a little. So coming on to your back. We're going to come into figure 4. Also in a sleeping pigeon or supine pigeon. Before we do that, though, let's walk our feet to the outer edges of the mat. Extend the arms out to the side, inhaling, and as you exhale, allowing the knees to fall to the right, head to the left. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, head to the right. So it's back and forth. So if you were seated here, you'd be seated, feet on the floor, kind of feet spread wide for the outer edges of your chair, and letting the knees fall to one side as the head and upper body turns to the other. Walking the feet back to center, bringing the right ankle to the left knee. So pausing here for a moment, bringing the right hand to the crease of the right hip and just gently pressing the right thigh away. If your hips are really tight, this might be where you want to stay. And for seated folks, you would be seated, left foot on the floor, right ankle on the knee, or right ankle crossed over left ankle. So options here, you can stay here or inhaling on an exhale with shoulders still relaxed, drawing the knee in towards the chest, needling through underneath. We'll come back to the breath. So hip openers, figure 4, pigeon. I find to be really one of the poses that for me where I might tend to hold my breath a little. So coming back to kind of that body scan that we did at the beginning of class today. And bringing that same kind of awareness to the body right now. Where might the body be holding? Is it happening in the shoulders as the arms have needled through? Is it happening in the hips or hamstrings? You can experiment too with leaving that left leg bent or extending it straight up. So about 5 more breaths, really working with the breath. If you've found a place that does feel tight or is holding, maybe even sending the breath to that place. And then releasing left foot to the floor, keeping that right knee where it is on the, keeping the right ankle on the left knee. There I go again, you guys. Inhale, and as you exhale, lowering the right foot towards the floor so that our right foot's going to come over to the floor. That right ankle is still on the left knee. Extending your arms out to the side, so come into a twist. Turning the head to the right. And then reaching down. This is an option. You can keep the hands out to the side or reaching down. Left hand to the right ankle and lifting the right arm overhead. If you're doing that, extending the right fingertips as you allow the right hip to be drawn towards your feet end of the mat. So really feeling an opening along the right side of the body. And coming back to center. Okay, so opposite side. Bringing the left ankle to the right knee, or just making sure for you that is the opposite side. Again, start by bringing the left hand to the crease of the hip and just gently pressing the thigh away from the front of the hip. So space, right? Creating a little space. A little help with that. Flexing the foot, relaxing the shoulders, and then deciding if you want to stay here and focus on allowing that left leg to drop down, or inhaling and on an exhale, maybe you want to bring the right knee into the chest. And then finding the breath, deciding too if you want to extend that left leg long, relaxing the shoulders. So for me, my left side is a whole lot tighter today. You might find one side to be tighter than the other as well. So coming back to the breath on this side too, for maybe 5 to 7 more breaths, really sending the breath intentionally to the spaces, to the places that might not feel so spacious, right? You might feel pretty tight. Or even a little inflamed. And then releasing the right foot to the floor. Left ankle stays where it is. Arms extended to the side. We're crossing over. Left foot comes to the floor. Arms can stay extended out to the side, or you can bring that right arm to the left ankle with the left arm overhead. If you're lifting the left arm overhead while the right hand holds on to the left ankle, think about this hip, the left hip, being drawn down towards the far end of the mat. So the stretch happening along the side of the body. Do a little time check. And slowly coming back out. Keep having little blips. I don't know if you guys are seeing them on your end, but they're just losing a little bit of signal in and out. And then releasing the foot to the floor, the feet to the floor. Again, letting the knees fall to one side, the head to the other. You can decide if that's faster or slow. And then keeping the feet to the outer edges of the mat, allowing the knees to fall in and rest on each other. Gently pressing the lower back into the floor. And then taking a moment and the next minute or so before Shavasana, if there's anything that you would like that we haven't done today, if you want to do bridge pose and some variations on bridge pose or happy baby, another side stretch, rocking side to side or feet up in the air. Just noticing what your body might like before coming into Shavasana. And as you're ready, if you haven't already, come into that position, releasing the feet to the floor, extending the legs long, releasing the arms by your sides, palms facing up. So palms facing up here, and then taking a moment, extending the heels and flexing the foot, and then relaxing the feet. And palms facing up helps to align the shoulder blades. It also, just structurally, it keeps us in alignment. And then there's an opportunity with palms open to be in this receiving pose, heart open pose. So I invite you, before we just release into this pose without any words, to come back to scanning the body, just like we did at the beginning of class, starting with the toes, noticing the tops of the feet and bottoms of the feet, noticing the heels, and just noticing as we scan the body again how the tissue feels, how the muscles feel, how the energy of that part of the body feels. If there's any messages along the way, noticing the shins and the calves, the front of the knees and back of the knees, the front of the hips and belly, the hip socket, the base of the spine and lower back, belly and ribs. The fingertips and hands, the forearms and elbows, noticing your upper arms, your armpits and shoulders, noticing your heart, your collarbones, length to the front of the neck and back of the neck, the jaw, the back of the head, the ears, face, space between the brows, the third eye, place of knowing and intuition, and the crown. And if at the beginning of class, if there was a place in the body that was giving you information, maybe coming back to that place and just noticing how that feels now. And just thanking that place for any information. And just for a moment bringing any attention or awareness if there was a place outside the physical body that you identified as benefiting from some increase in space. Maybe visualizing that situation or that space, how it might look and feel if it were more spacious. And then just releasing any attachment or thoughts connected to that process. Just allowing yourself to be here for the next minute or two. I bless myself, I am. I bless myself, I am. I see you in another's eyes. You speak to me through theirs. In our story, in our lives, you are here. To bring awareness back to the body, first without movement. And as you're ready, any kind of movement that feels good. It can be fingers and toes, but maybe it's your whole arm or whole legs. Maybe Feel good to extend the arms overhead. Or turn the head gently from side to side. And then just as you're ready, and only as you're ready, coming onto one side. Whichever side feels good to you. And then slowly grounding through the palms. Finding any cushion that you have to come back to seated. And then if you like, bringing the hands together at heart center. And just pausing here, pausing to notice and bring awareness back to that idea of spaciousness, that idea that bringing space into the body through breath and movement can also bring space to, in our emotional space, right? Can bring space to situations, relationships, and also physically into these places that might be beneficial. Because where there's more space, there's more capacity, right? Where there's more space, there's more movement, there's more freedom. So just feeling that space. And often in class, just with an invitation to pause together in gratitude. And gratitude to each of you for showing up here virtually, despite maybe challenges of getting on your mat at home. And gratitude to Bound in the Soul for giving us this space, this virtual space to be together. And gratitude to all the volunteers and staff and farmers and local workers that make the markets possible. So market today from 11 to 1 at the Bilo and Black Mountain. I won't be there today, but I hope that some of you guys will be there. So again, gratitude to each of you for being here. And it's in that spirit of gratitude that the light in me honors and sees the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Next week, Danielle will be here at 9:30. And again, you can access all the videos online in between. And feel free to post with any questions or comments or feedback, and also to message us. Take good care.